What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is a special day. Today is Monday, April 7th, the day before Phase 8 Season of Discovery goes live. Now, there's been a lot of talk about this phase, whether it's going to be the last phase, whether it's kind of just the intro to the end of Season of Discovery, and there's going to be more stuff after it. We really don't know 100%, but I want to talk to you guys about what is there and what we know is coming, and what we kind of know might be the end, right? We have April 10th this week, which is Thursday. That's when the Scarlet Enclave raid is opening. That's going to be a huge day for Season of Discovery players because it's the first time we're getting an actual new raid in Season of Discovery, and it may be coming at the end of Season of Discovery. But that's what I want to talk to you guys about today in this video. So strap in, we got a lot to talk about. Let's get a move on. So for a lot of you, this might be kind of hard to hear, but Season of Discovery launched on November 30th, I think it was, in 2023. We are now in 2025. We're in April, right? So about a year and a half later, we are now getting what we are being told is the last phase of Season of Discovery. Now, they haven't come right out and said this is the last phase, but in the marketing email, they called it the final chapter. And in the blue post, originally talking about Phase 8, they said Season of Discovery culminates with Phase 8, right? And we all know culminates means ends with, basically. And the final chapter could also mean that maybe it's the start of the end of Season of Discovery. And let me explain that. Maybe Phase 8 is like the beginning of the end, right? Phase 8 is where we are transitioning to this ending period of Season of Discovery, but maybe the Scarlet Raid isn't the last piece of this Season of Discovery puzzle, right? There could potentially be more things coming. I was on Scotty J's podcast over the weekend, and we talked about quite a bit of stuff, like the life expectancy of Phase 8 and the future beyond Phase 8. What is coming next? Should it be seasonal? Should it be a more static game mode, like something more permanent that they're working on in the background? You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, in my opinion, the life expectancy for Phase 8 Season of Discovery actually depends on quite a few things. If this raid launches and it's a lot of fun and it's very well designed, I have a feeling that Season of Discovery, even if this is the last piece of content for Season of Discovery, I have a feeling this phase will last quite a few months, right? Maybe 2-3 months before it starts really fizzling out as people start getting their Ashbringers, which is an absolutely awesome new addition, right? That's a really sick piece of content. If they did a really good job on the quest line and the lore and everything, I could see that keeping players going for 2 to 3 months going forward, right? Everyone is going to want to get an Ashbringer. If you're a paladin especially, warrior, hunter, right? Those are all the classes that can wield the Ashbringer. I'm sure everyone that can wield it is going to want to do it, especially if they did a good job on the questing to get it and the lore behind it. Now, there's the other piece here that's Scotty was talking about the fact that they're adding so much in this last phase, right? We all remember the Wowhead posts, over 500 new items, all of this stuff, yada, yada, yada. We're getting tinkers, right? We're getting nitro boots, tinkers, and stuff like that. And he brought up a good point. Why wasn't this stuff in from the beginning of Season of Discovery? And maybe it was there, maybe the idea was there, but maybe they just didn't really know how to throw it into the game and have it fit with the content that was already existing. Now, hear me out. The Scarlet Raid is new content, right? So maybe they were able to design this new content around all of this stuff that they may have wanted to throw in back in Phase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but they didn't know how to do it because the content wasn't designed around it. Now, I think that would most likely be the reason why we're getting so much in this last phase. Kind of like they want to go out with a bang. They want to say, you know what, Season of Discovery was a lot of fun. The people who play Season of Discovery love Season of Discovery. They're really attached to their characters. Let's give them an awesome last phase before we close up shop, kind of let these servers ride out, work on, you know, Classic Plus in the background, work on MOP. We know that's coming very soon, so they're going to probably be shifting a lot of their focus towards that. We have Anniversary running alongside of it, so anyone still fiending for that classic experience can jump over there and play, and I've seen a pretty big influx of players over there, actually, over the last couple of weeks. I personally am not really playing Anniversary. I'm kind of in the TBC waiting room. I'm just ranking my shaman on there to be ready for TBC. But here's the thing. We talked about on the podcast, like, what they can do to keep Season of Discovery going if Phase 8 isn't the absolute last bit of content. It may be the last phase, but they can add more stuff. And a buddy of mine brought up a good point. Remember the DFC instance, Demonfall Canyon? You basically got a trinket that you equipped, and it created a portal out in the world that sent you into a new instance, right? They can't do too much because it is kind of connected to Classic era, as we've seen with when we get, phases dropping and SOD players are now in Arathi basins that are in Anniversary and Era and stuff like that. We don't want to have that. But it is possible for them to separate it in ways like that. Maybe we can get some stuff in Hyjal, Caverns of Time, stuff like that. It is possible. But in my opinion, I don't think it's going to happen, and simply for the reasons that I just stated, right? We have MOP right around the corner. That's going to be taking away a lot of dev time. We remember what happened in Phase 3 in Season of Discovery, why it was the most hated phase, right? We got incursions, we had Sunken Temple, and it lasted absolutely forever, and that's because Cataclysm was right around the corner. They needed to split their dev time, which is understandable. So it kind of is the perfect time and the perfect way to end Season of Discovery. We have MOP right around the corner. We have a massive BlizzCon coming next year, 2026. Maybe they want to work on MOP and then shift their focus towards Classic Plus or whatever is coming after Season of Discovery, the next iteration of Classic, maybe a more permanent or a more static game mode that people can get attached to for years and years to come, that's going to be developed for years and years to come. I think that's what's going to happen, and I really want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. I would love to hear your takes on where you guys think Classic is going after Season of Discovery. And for anyone who's going to say, like, oh, Classic's dead, we're repeating the same game, like, just save it. You really don't need to say that. It's not true. The numbers show that it's absolutely not true, and they wouldn't keep developing it and progressing forward with MOP, probably Warlords. They wouldn't be working on seasonal servers. They wouldn't be working on Classic Plus. We wouldn't have gotten fresh hardcore, fresh Anniversary. The numbers show that people do want this stuff. So whether you like it or not, Classic is here to stay, and I think there is a pretty bright future in store for Classic. Now, maybe the middle/latter part of this year might be a little dull while we're waiting for TBC. I still think we should have just got a TBC fresh instead of vanilla fresh Anniversary, or maybe just both. A lot of the people on Anniversary are just waiting for Burning Crusade, but either way, we're getting that probably towards the end of this year, maybe December or maybe early 2026. And that'll tide people over until BlizzCon of 2026, where I personally think they're going to make an announcement announcing the next thing for Classic, and you know what that is. We're not going to get into it in this video. I'm not going to talk about C+ that much until we get to a point where we're actually having some solid evidence that it is coming. I mean, I know there's some evidence, but I want announcements. I want dates. I don't really do much, speculation on this channel, simply because I feel like there's no need to talk about it and burn it out and drive it into the ground until we know it's actually happening. But I personally think Season of Discovery has been an amazing time. It's had its ups, it's had its downs. They've definitely been able to learn a lot about what works and what doesn't work for the future of Classic. And I'm excited. I am. It's kind of a bittersweet thing. I know that this might be the end, right? And a lot of people might do the Scarlet Raid once, twice, maybe 3 times, and then say, you know what? I enjoyed it. Season of Discovery was great, and then probably log off until Burning Crusade or whatever, or go play another game, or go play Anniversary, try out Hardcore, whatever. But I do think that there's potential for this phase. There's a lot of new stuff coming. We have New Avalon, that whole new area, new recipes, new items. We're going to have new quests to do, a new raid. And you know what? If it ends there, I think Season of Discovery was a win all around. It's kind of a shame that it did take this long for us to see a new raid, but to be completely honest, I think this really was the way they had to do it, but because of the restrictions that were there. Being tied to Classic, especially early on, they were super tied to Classic. They couldn't change much. That's how the rune system became a thing in general, right? But yeah, I'm excited, and I want to know how everyone else feels. Do you guys think that the Scarlet Raid is the end? Do you think this is the last piece of content for Season of Discovery? Or do you think maybe this is just the start of the final chapter? Maybe we're going to get some stuff after Phase 8 launches, right? Maybe after Scarlet, maybe we will get some PvP tuning down the line, or a new battleground or something. I know that's a long shot, and we probably won't, but it is possible. But either way, in my opinion, if this is the end, I think the ride was incredible. I think we had a great time in Season of Discovery, and I think it really did help Blizzard kind of narrow down their focus on what they want to do going forward. And the question of, should the next thing for Classic be seasonal or a more static, permanent game mode? I gotta go permanent all the way. I'm not really a big fan of seasonal World of Warcraft. You get really attached to your characters. You spend hundreds of hours progressing and building up these characters in game, and to just have them go away at the end. And when I say go away, I know that Season of Discovery characters aren't going to go away. They said that they'll go somewhere nice, which might be like a SOD era realm, which is fine. But in a way, they die, right? They'll go to this realm, and there'll be a very small group of players that keep raiding and keep playing SOD, but it won't be like a very alive version of the game, as we saw with Era in the beginning. So, I'm not a fan of seasonal World of Warcraft. I think it's great to test things. I think SOD was an absolutely amazing testing ground that's been so much fun for the past year and a half for all of us, and I think they did a great job with it. Despite all the faults, it's had a lot of victories as well. Season of Discovery has arguably been one of the most fun versions of WoW I've ever played, and I've been playing my entire life. For 20 years, I've been playing WoW, and I think that SOD was just, it was a beautiful disaster in a way, right? There was a lot wrong, but a lot great, and the people that I've met along the way, and the content that we've done, it's been such a wild ride, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see what Phase 8 has in store. We started the guild, me, No Hit Jerome, Sam Medina, Eben Hart, a bunch of content creators got together. We made a guild called Phase 9 on Crusader Strike Alliance. If anyone's looking for a raiding guild, we're not hardcore in this guild. We did that already throughout SOD. We are just here to do this content together, plow through Scarlet, and just have a bunch of fun. So if you're interested in joining that guild, just drop a comment down below. Contact someone from the guild. Again, Crusader Strike Alliance. We are on NA, US servers. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to kind of end Season of Discovery with a bang, if this is the end. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm really curious. I just wanted to make a kind of a talking video. I want to figure out where everyone's head is at with this, because on Scotty J's podcast, it really started making me think about all this stuff, and I'm really curious as to where the community stands on this. And if you think this is the end, do you think there's going to be more? Do you think this should be the end? And what would you like to see for the future of Classic moving forward? But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you. Hit that like button. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/hammerdance. I'll be streaming all week long. I stream Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. This is going to be a big week for us. This is launch week of Phase 8. We will be live throughout the whole thing, raiding the Scarlet Enclave that night on Thursday, so we're excited for that. And if you guys want to join an awesome Discord community full of like-minded people who all just share a massive love for Classic WoW and everything that the world has to offer, join my Discord down in the link. There's a link down in the description below, sorry. But yeah, I'm excited. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.